Welcome back. Chosen Sports episode 13. MLB season is a coming. So we're just going to go over a few things. Starting off, remembering Hammer and Hank, RIP, the real home run king. Fuck you, Barry Bonds, you cheating fuck. Hank Aaron, absolute GOAT. Top five in almost every single major statistic in terms of hitting. He's the absolute legend. I can't wait to see them honor him on opening day. What about you guys? Hammer and Hank, what about them, man? They do that, crush so many barriers on top of crushing baseballs.
Real home run king, like you said. And on top of that, he also helped build on Jackie Robinson's legacy of, breaking the black-white barrier in the MLB. So, props to him for that as well. And, he'll be remembered as one of the all-time greats.
Yeah, absolute legend. I mean, I don't think anyone who's not on the roids is going to beat that guy's home run record. I mean, he's unbelievable. But RIP.
And then you guys see, like, with COVID for this year, stadiums they're starting to allow people back in the stands, and they're actually going to be able to play a full season this year. The MLB commissioner Manfred already said, you guys better get ready. Full season coming up, starting right in April. Texas Rangers, for example, and some of those southern states, they have 100% capacity. Fans all lined up throughout the stadium. So we'll see whether that's a shit show.
I love it. I love it.
I do too. It's time to get over this bullshit.
I think so too. I think good for them. Let's go back to normal.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd say overall,
vaccines rolling. Let's go.
I think, yeah, exactly. Once the vaccine obviously is driving the numbers down of people that are contracting it, but obviously it's not trying to probably be 100%. But I'm not one that really cares too much for COVID, so I'd be happy to sit in 100% capacity at a Sox game right now. To be quite honest with you. I don't think COVID will be too much of an issue as long as these players aren't idiots and going out every weekend unvaccinated or whatever. I'm sure they already got vaccinated. Seeing that they're in the MLB, I'm sure they have to be vaccinated to probably play. So, those guys are probably vaccinated. I think things will go smooth with regards to players getting COVID for, the season and like the fan capacity. It really just is going to depend on the state. And I think it'll slowly go up and up and up as, the summer goes on, COVID starts to squeak out and out. So I just think the capacity will slowly start to rise. Luckily, I'm going to a Sox game, limited capacity in April with me and my brother. Got him some B-Day birthday tickets to go see the Sox play the White Sox. So it'll be good.
Nice. Good game.
Yeah, I'm just amped that we can actually go to games. Like, you know what I mean? That's one of the best things, especially like in New England where the weather is, it's 50-50. It's a toss-up any given day. Mother Nature, whether she wants to be a bitch or not, depending on what we get. But the Sox games, whether it's raining, shining, whatever it is, like they're always a good time. The crowd gets into it. Even like, the last few years where we've kind of just like sucked, because we go from worst to first, it seems like every year now. But even like those worst years, it's just such a good time. You go down there, a couple buddies, get plastered, get a couple brews at the ballpark. You're singing Sweet Caroline. You're up in the stands, especially during like the Yankees games. Like everybody's like booing the Yankees fans. There's always a brawl that comes out in typical Bostonian fashion. It's just always a great time, regardless. Sweet Caroline.
Yeah, you see some characters. You slam a couple brews. You have some ballpark franks. Hopefully, catch a fly ball or a fucking homer. One of all the goods that come into baseball games. It's so much more fun being there, and than watching it on TV. Like it's so much more of a different experience. Because a lot of people think baseball is boring.
Oh yeah, I mean the whole experience going to Fenway is just something else. I mean, I don't even know if it's the same for other stadiums, but it's something else. Crazy.
We're blessed with Fenway.
Just all the smells, the crazy people, it's just great.
Well, I think it's time to break out the Hazing Hat, boys.
Oh, no.
What's the Hazing Hat have for us tonight?
We'll break down what it is first.
Well, the Hazing Hat is a new thing that we're adding into the episodes. Just to break it up a little bit, a little finesse, I guess you could say, a little bit of fun. Basically, my sick fucking twisted mind, the beaten broken shell that I am, I wrote up a couple of things that I'll be pulling it out, and the boys will have to do a various thing, whether it be actually physically doing something, in person, on social media, on the phone, or chugging a beer, something like that, or they'll have to like riddle off some sort of like crazy trivia or just something in general, like even like a truth or dare, fuck, marry, kill, just something like in general, just something to spice it up a little bit, add a little, panache to it. You know what I'm saying? So I'll be drawing one out of the hat, and we'll all have to do it. Oh my god. This one is the one that I wanted to get from earlier. This is the one.
There you go.
Yeah. On Instagram, type in the first letter of your name and DM the first person that shows up a picture of a chicken wearing overalls with no context.
Jesus fuck. What are you supposed to do?
You have to look up. So the first letter of your name. So you would be V, I'd be M, he'd be D. The first person that comes up on your explore bar, on your search bar, just DM them a picture of a chicken with overalls. Nothing else. Just chicken with overalls.
All right, let's do it. It's hilarious.
What the?
I hit send. I sent it, bro.
You're fucking sick.
You think I can't?
I know you don't care because you're broken.
Come on, boys. It's supposed to be spicy. Gotta get the people going. What'd you get, D?
I don't know.
Why you weren't just looking?
There's nobody with D.
When you go to explore, you type in D. I'm sure I would come up for D. My last name is fucking Dell.
Where the fuck is explore? I don't know.
I hope he gets to it. He sent it to you.
Type in the search bar bullshit.
Search bar, then click D. Who's the first person that comes up?
You.
Me?
Yeah, what am I going to send you a chicken?
Send me a chicken.
All right, if you want it.
Here you go.
I mean, I'm so used to choking the chicken. I mean, I'd love to get a chicken with overall.
You
Might as well put an overall over my fucking bean.
sicko.
Vin, you do it?
Dude, where are you seeing these chickens with
Just continue the
overalls
fucking
on, bro?
podcast, right?
Just
Like,
type in chicken with overalls, bro.
where did you
Yeah,
think
I'm not
of this?
seeing it, man.
Sick bastard.
I'm not seeing any chicken with overalls.
You on Google, bro?
You're sick.
Yeah, you need help.
Yo, he's a sick man, dude.
I have worse ones than this. This is probably like my favorite one though, because it's just so
Yo,
weird.
what the fuck?
Did you send it?
No, I'm looking at it though. It's fucking hilarious. You're fucked. What the hell?
God, bro.
Well, you send that. We'll go on to the next one. So
Yo, go check that out, bro. What the hell? Oh,
next
man.
one, I wanted to do like a current Mount Rushmore. Like, who do we think are like the 4 top players in the league?
Like this year?
Yeah, going into the season.
Let's do 4 pitchers, 4 hitters. That's fair.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
I feel like it's separate. We'll start with the hitters. I would say definitely Mike Trout. He's most consistent by far in the league. Mike Trout has to be in the top 4. Mookie Betts, I'd say he's been incredible. I don't know how he wouldn't be in the top 4.
Oh, easily. It sucks that he's not on the Red Sox, but
I do miss Mookie. He was awesome. And then for the other 2, I would say we're probably going to look at, I'd say probably the best players would honestly be probably Juan Soto and Tatis based off last year, but Acuna could definitely be in there too. Those are probably the top 4 for me for this year, at least, just based off of like their previous performance and their potential for this year. I like the teams that they're on too. So I think that they're all going to be pretty successful. But what do you guys think for a top 4?
I like your top 4. Your top 4 is pretty solid.
Yeah, the
Trout
one that
Trout and Mookie are 1 and 2.
Yeah, 100%. I think the same. Those 2 are probably the 2 best players in the league.
And I mean, those 3 are pretty interchangeable.
Yeah, and I think the one that I like, you could easily slide in would be Acuna for Tatis or Juan Soto. But Juan Soto really crushed it last year. They're both phenomenal. So I don't know. That's a tough one. But those are probably my top 4 to 5. You have anything different, Dell?
Pretty much the same. I would just swap Ronald Acuna in for Juan Soto. I keep Fernando Tatis in there. But again, like Juan Soto is like right there. Like you could easily swap him in a row. So I don't really disagree with you guys. I just think Acuna is just slightly better, not really much.
That's fair. That's one of the it's one that could be fucking traced back.
Yeah, either way, I mean,
a hair.
Top five's got to be them.
And then how about for pitchers?
I'd say Jacob deGrom for sure. He's filthy. And then Garrett Cole on the Yanks now. That he's going to be in there just based off his past performance. Shane Bieber, obviously coming off that fucking Cy Young. And the last one's a little tough. Could go there's a couple guys that come to mind. But I think it would probably have to go to I'm trying to think here.
Pitches is a little bit harder, to be honest.
Pitches is really hard because from year to year, guys, they're very streaky pitchers. They have those seasons where they win 20-plus games and then, they can get injured or just have the team just doesn't hit the ball well and they just kind of get those losses on their record.
Yeah, I'd say,
tough.
Just basing it off last year and, kind of bringing the momentum in from this year, probably Trevor Bauer, now a member of the Dodgers too. So that Dodgers lineup is fucking stacked.
Yeah, the Dodgers, I mean, they have that team is going to be – they got to be favored to win it all. I mean,
yeah,
every year it's insane. Then they add Mookie and then they add some pitching and it's unbelievable.
Yeah, there's some other guys you could throw in the mix too. Lucas Giolito from the White Sox is really good. Aaron Nola from the Phillies, he's really solid. There's a couple other guys too that you can mix in there. But I think, Clayton Kershaw, obviously he's a big name, but he's getting a little bit older, so I kept him out of the top four there. But I'd say my top four are deGrom, Shane Bieber, Garrett Cole, and Trevor Bauer. That's probably my top four.
What about you, D?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's it's a little tough for me. I mean, I don't know who the top four pitchers are. I could give you a better answer after like 60 games. I'll tell you that.
It's tough because it changes every year. It's not like one of the guys in the top four might have a terrible year, but it's just not likely because they're very talented.
If I had to give mine, I got deGrom, Shane Bieber, and then slightly different for the last two. I got Mad Max, Max Scherzer, and then
Max Scherzer. I mean, he's got to be up there.
Yeah, he's a beast year in and year out, even as he continues to age.
Yeah, he's just getting old. That's why I left him out.
And then I have the better pitcher for the Dodgers, Walker Buehler. That dude is a stud, and he's only like 23 years old. So I have him in the fourth spot, and then you have him over Trevor Bauer. Of it would be Trevor Bauer and then Garrett Cole.
Yeah,
I mean,
can you imagine? Walker Buehler, I was going to say too. I just didn't mention him because I already mentioned fucking Bauer, who's already on the Dodgers too now.
Imagine having three pitches in like the top 6, 7. That's insane.
No, they're going to be gross again this year.
It's ridiculous.
They're barely going to lose. It's going to be bad.
Score 3 runs, you're all set with that lineup too.
Their whole lineup is stacked.
It's ridiculous. They don't even need that many runs.
That's the one thing that sucks about baseball, though, is there's no salary cap. Like literally, it just varies.
Oh yeah.
You got a team like the Dodgers who are like way up here, and then you got a team like the Oakland A's who still compete every year, and they're like bottom of the barrel. You know what I mean? They got to completely go through the farm just to be able to compete.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, yeah, the Dodgers and the Yankees are always just buying out the whole fucking league. So that's just kind of
the Yankees. It doesn't work for the Yanks though. So
I mean, realistically, it didn't work for the Dodgers until last year either because they would lose every World Series. They lost 3 in a row. So I mean,
they had to get Mookie. They had to get the championship pedigree.
The piece they needed.
He came in.
And then after this year, they win it, and then they go out and get fucking Trevor Bauer too. So I mean, Trevor Bauer was ridiculous last year. So that pitching lineup is going to be insane. They also have David Price too that they took from the Red Sox, who obviously didn't have the greatest career with the Red Sox, but obviously he's still David Price. Like he's a solid. He's like their fourth pitcher.
Yeah,
yeah, he's that lefty. You just throw in there.
He'd be the Red Sox first pitcher right now if he was on the Red Sox.
Yeah, it's. I don't even want to talk about the Red Sox.
Yeah, I actually think the Red Sox will be better than a lot of people are thinking this year. They have a lot of young talent.
That's good. We can go into the final part, the season predictions.
Yeah, no, and Mike, if you want, I pulled up this Sports Illustrated list here that they are like their predictions on what the season standings will end up like. If you want to just go quickly division by division, and we could just see if we like or disagree with what they said.
Yeah, you could kick that off. That's cool.
Yeah, I feel like it's better to follow something that's a little organized.
Yeah.
But yeah, so in the American League East, we'll start with that because since we were just talking about the Red Sox, they get the Yankees finishing first, and then the Blue Jays, then the Rays, then the Red Sox in fourth, Orioles at 5. Don't be surprised that the Red Sox, I think, this year actually play better than they are projected to do. They have them projected at 80 and 82 records, so 2 games under 500. I think they'll win a little bit more than that, and I think that we'll finish third or second in the East. I just feel like with the young talent we're adding in, if our pitching can hold up, that's the biggest problem with the Sox. But like some of the young guys, they got that guy Bobby Dalbec. He's fucking raking right now. Got like 6 homers in the last like 5 games in spring league, so he's eating. And then I like our guys that we got in that Mookie trade as well, like Verdugo. I think he's going to take another step forward this year. And we still have that strong infield. We got Bogarts and Devers, and those guys are really solid contact hitters for us. JD Martinez, I think, will have a better year than last. But yeah, I think that the Red Sox will actually be a lot better than they were last year. I think last year was a very bad outlier. So I'm going to say that the Red Sox will finish around 3-2 if they had a really good season. Yankees, I think, will definitely finish 1 with their lineup they got. And people are projecting the Blue Jays to have a good year. I don't know. What do you guys think?
Honestly, those predictions I think are pretty dead nuts for the Red Sox. I don't have any high hopes for them. And
yeah, I mean, I don't think they're going to do anything crazy. I don't think they might not make the playoffs or anything. I just think they're not. I think they could definitely be over 500 this year, though, like by a couple games. That's what I think.
I'm extremely worried about our pitching, and I'm extremely worried about our outfield. I mean, we had one of the best outfields maybe in the last 10 years, and every single one of them are gone. So it's tough pill to swallow.
But see, I'm not so much worried about the outfield. I think that they have competent replacements, at least fielding wise. They're obviously nowhere near the caliber those guys were. All 3 of them were Gold Glove candidates.
Like, even the clutch factor, you know what I mean? The catches that they would make, all of them.
Like those guys that we have besides Verdugo, they ain't gonna rake at the plate, but they'll still be able to play decently on the outfield. Like we used to have fucking Manny and Trot Nixon playing the outfield at Fenway. It's not like one of those huge ballparks. Not a lot of ground to cover. So
hey, Trotty Nix, man, that's a legend.
With Dirt Dog.
Manny's love watching him bang home runs over the monster.
Yeah, I think they just really switched the Blue Jays and Rays. Like last year, the Rays were, obviously a better team that went to the World Series. Third in this list. They lost Blake Snell, who was obviously one of the best pitchers in the league. So he goes out to San Diego. So now they dropped him down pretty much just from losing him. I think the Tampa Bay Rays will also be pretty solid this year. They're always just coached up well, and they have a good core team of guys. And the Blue Jays, they really just put them in second, I believe, because they added in George Springer and a couple other guys. So they added, some big faces. And they're also projecting a bigger year from, what's his name?
Vlad Guerrero.
Yeah, the Vlad Guerrero. Yeah, the baby.
I think, honestly, I see them finishing first.
The Blue Jays.
Hear me out. I see them finishing in the AFC in the East.
Yeah, the East. They're in the East.
Yeah, in the East. Yeah, in the East. I was getting confused with football.
Over the Yanks, you think though?
Yeah, I think so. Just because the Yanks never stay healthy, they never do it. Every single year, they're like top team. They're going to go to the World Series. Blah blah blah. And they did a phenomenal job in building through the farm. Like almost their whole team is built through the farm system, besides Stan and Garrett Cole. If you look at the roster. But none of them stay healthy. They all have glass bones and paper skin. It seems like every single year they end up like last year. I think there was like a stretch of like 20 games where they were missing like all their starters besides like one. It was crazy.
They were all pitching just never healthy. When they're healthy, their lineup is fucking nuts.
Yeah. When you have Judge and Stanton out for a significant amount of time, it's just almost impossible to score a lot of points like that.
I'd say the Stanton project has been a failure for them overall. I mean, as soon as he left the Marlins, he's completely been injury prone. He's on and off the field. It's like it must be so frustrating to pay a guy that much and he barely is on the field for you. And when he was out,
that's the thing with baseball.
So I don't know what's going on with him. Hopefully, he has a better year. Or maybe not because I'm not a Yankees fan. But I mean, he's a good guy, good player. So I mean, hopefully he just bounces back and does what he's supposed to for all the fucking money he's paid. So. We'll see. I think the Yankees will still finish first just based on that pitching rotation is ridiculous. And people forget they have Corey Kluber too, who was unbelievable like a year or two ago, and he literally just came off an injury, so people forgot about him. So remember that when they have Garrett Cole and Who's the other Chinese guy they have that's really good too? I always forget his name.
Tanaka, but he just left.
Oh, did he?
Japan. Yeah, but they have Luis
Yeah.
Severino, who's really good. He was injured all last year. He's coming.
Yeah.
He trained with Pedro Martinez. That was like his pitching coach.
Yeah,
That's
he's
awesome.
solid too. So
Really
they got one of the best closers in the game too. They got Roldis Chapman. So I don't know. They got a good team, and then when they're healthy, they're going to be really, really tough to beat. Their whole lineup is stacked with power. Great fielders all over the place. I mean, they're just really good. So I think they'll finish first. With the Blue Jays' new additions, and some upcoming prospects and talent, I could see them finishing second. I think it'll be a toss-up between us and the Rays for the third spot, and I think the Orioles will finish last. Although I do like the kid Ryan Mountcastle they just added from he's a rookie, but he debuted a little bit last year, but kid's really solid. He plays first base for him, so I like him. And the Orioles, they're always usually at the bottom of the barrel in this division, but this division is really tough. So that's what I have to say about that.
Yeah, let's go on to the next one.
Yeah,
next one on there.
American League Central. So this is this is the layout they got right now. You got the White Sox finishing first, the Twins finishing second, the Cleveland Indians, Kansas City Royals at 4, and then they got the Detroit Tigers in last at 5. I think this is relatively accurate as well. I think the White Sox are projected really high, but they also lost a huge player for their team. Why am I blanking out? Eloy Jimenez. He is out for 5 to 6 months with I think it was a torn pec or bicep or something like that. But he's out for 5 to 6 months, and he's one of their best players and a solid hitter in that lineup. I think he bats right in the meat of the lineup between 3 and 5, I believe. But he was a big piece. People are really excited about him this year, and he's out for a significant amount of time now. So that's a big loss for him. But seeing this division is not that strong, I think that they'll still hold on to that first spot. The Twins are always a sneaky decent team every year, and they also have Nelson Cruz back this year, so they'll get some power back in that lineup as well to go along with some really solid pieces. And obviously they got their strong core team there. But I think that's accurate. Do you guys have anything to say about this division? Do you think that Chicago?
I like the White Sox. I mean, as the clear favorite.
Yeah, they got some good pieces, man. Tim Anderson's solid. They got that really great pitcher too, Giolito as well. He's really good.
Yoel Moncada too from the Sox. He's really starting to bud out. He's still young. He's like 25.
Yeah, playing third base. He's starting to show a lot of power. He saw him in the 3-bag too. There's really not a lot of complaints. The White Sox were just a team that's just been built up for many years to come, and they're finally coming to fruition. So good for them, and I think they will win this division.
Pretty clear cut.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think so.
Let's see, we'll move to American League West here. We got the Angels. They're projecting the Angels to win the division, so that's pretty cool. Yeah. So the Angels, for crying out loud, they have so much fucking talent. They just never can figure it out every year. The Astros in second, since they lost George Springer, and he was probably the main piece of that team. Oakland Athletics at 3, Mariners at 4, Texas Rangers at 5. So this division, I think, could go in a few ways. It depends on how things pan out, people staying healthy, whatnot. I think that the Angels, Astros, and Athletics will all be in the mix for the division. I think it's weird. The Athletics don't have any standout key players. I feel like you can't really go on the roster and be like, hey, this guy's fucking nasty, but they just do things right, and they always have a decent pitching rotation. So I feel like they'll always be in the mix. The Astros, like I said, George Springer's gone, but they still have are still the Astros. You know what I mean? They're still a solid team every year. Usually they are cheating fucks, but Carlos Correa is still there. Bregman, all those guys. So they still got some really solid players there. So they'll definitely be in the mix. I mean, and the Angels, they got the best player in baseball, Mike Trout, the phenom. You know what I mean? They got Mike Trout. They got Anthony Rendon too, who's been super consistent for the last few years. And Shohei Ohtani, that new motherfucker, dude, he's ripping it up, dude. He's pitching, hitting, he's doing everything. So they got some really cool players there. I can definitely see them win the division if they just stay healthy. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I mean, the Angels on paper they're the superior team, but I just don't see it. I mean, the Astros they're cheating fucks, but man, when they play the game, they play it the right way and they win. That's just how they roll that way. Springer was a huge loss for him, but I don't know. I just see the Astros winning. They just play the game the right way, other than stealing signs and shit. But they're a good small ball team. They have some they got some real good players on that team, and I don't know. I see them winning it.
What do you think, Goat?
Give me the Oakland A's first. Love that. Moneyball, baby. Moneyball.
Wow.
I think
it's about time they would win the division. They fucking always get screwed every year.
Dude, they're a good team every single year with I think they have like bottom 5 cap space every single year. They have to go completely through the farm system. Otherwise, they don't get shit because it's a low market team. They have no money to dish out. Not to mention the Astros, who I think it's between them and the Astros for first place. They lose George Springer, which they have a good enough lineup they can compensate for, but he's still a huge loss. He's a great player. And they have Justin Verlander, who has that serious injury. He's on the 60-day injured reserve. So they're going to be without him for a good chunk of the season, at least 2 months, maybe even – they'll be lucky if it's like a month. You know what I mean? So it's probably going to be a month, 2 months. He's older too, so it may even take longer.
Who'd you say, Dale? Sorry, I missed it.
Who's injured?
Right now?
Verlander.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, he's out. He got injured last year, and he's still recovering. So
I think Altuve is recovering from an injury too.
Yeah, he got a little banged up in the playoffs. So, I mean, they're a little bit banged up, and they got the Oakland A's hot on their heels. So, I think Oakland A's, they'll get out to a hot start, and the Astros will start to turn around at the end of the year. But by that point, I mean, Oakland is so consistent. I feel like they just keep the lead, You
don't have any faith in the Angels?
Bro, I've been waiting for years for the Angels to turn it around. They're just wasting away Mike Trout's career. And it seems like he's perfectly fine with it. He's like, yo, I got the bag. Like, whatever. I'll stay in LA. I'll stay in La La Land. It's cool with me. I'll fucking won't win shit ever. I don't think he's ever – has he ever made the playoffs since he's been on that team? Maybe once,
I honestly don't think so. I
think they did make the playoffs, but they got smacked or something like that. What was like a playing game or something?
Ridiculous. Yeah, so I have them in third. They ain't making the playoffs. They can have Babe Ruth rise up out of his grave on that team with Mike Trout. They ain't making the fucking playoffs.
All right, now we're moving to the NL. National League East, we got Atlanta Braves at 1, New York Mets at 2, Washington Nationals at 3, Phillies at 4, Marlins at 5. This is a good division. This is a strong division.
Yeah.
This one's, I feel like, up in the air. The Braves are obviously the front-runner favorite because they usually win this division over the last course of the couple of years. But, the Nationals obviously won it, not very long ago at all. And then, the Mets are really stacking up. They got fucking Francisco Lindor now. They got probably the best pitcher in baseball in Jacob deGrom. So, I don't know. This team's really starting to come along. They got some good pieces. Michael Conforto is really good until he plays outfield. He's solid. They just have good pieces all around, and the Mets have a pretty decent pitching staff, so I could definitely see them winning it as long as Lindor meshes pretty well. The Braves, they got Acuna and a couple other really solid guys too. So I don't know. This is a tough division to call. Do you guys have any picks on this one?
Yeah, I mean, I think the Braves end up taking it, but it's going to come down to the wire. I mean, the Nationals. They have a really good shot.
The Phillies are good too. I mean, the Marlins in the division, I don't see having a chance. Like every other team has a legit chance, I think.
I'm just going to take, the team with the better player, and I think the Braves they'll sneak that division out.
Mm-hmm. What do you think, Dale?
I agree. Honestly, though, I want to say the Phillies will come in last, but they just have so much star power with Bryce Harper and Didi Gregorius. So I really like the direction the Marlins are moving in. They got real competitive near the second half of the season, and the Phillies just stunk last year, for no other word to put it. They had no reason to be that bad. They were in a playoff spot most of the year, and then out of nowhere they just bottomed out and they ended up with a terrible record. So the Phillies,
yeah. Yeah, no, they're projecting them at like right around the same record as the Red Sox. They actually have them 2 games above 500, 82 and 80. They got some good players. They got like a lot of old veterans. Like they have Bryce Harper, who's not like old, but like, he's a little bit older. Didi Gregorius, and they also have Andrew McCutchen too. So they have like some old school guys that were, really sick back in their early days. But, this is a team that could definitely sneak in the mix if they stay healthy and they can put things together properly. Their pitching staff remains healthy. The Marlins, they got that standout pitcher, Sixto Sanchez, coming up. So he's supposed to be pretty nice. Pretty cool name too. So hopefully he does well. But yeah, I don't know. And like, we haven't even mentioned the Nationals. I mean, the fucking Nationals have one of the best hitters in the league, Juan Soto, and on top of that, Max Scherzer in Strasburg. So it's like that.
I'm just worried about their health.
Yeah, the health, the main thing. But like realistically, if they can stay healthy, that team's going to be right in the mix too. So this is a really tough division to call. I don't know. I think the Braves are the closest to World Series ready. They almost beat the Dodgers last year to win the NL pennant. So I think I'm going to go with them to probably win it again this year. But don't be surprised when the Mets, Nationals / Phillies are on their ass, because I could definitely see all that happening. Then we got the NL Central here. A little bit weaker than previous years because, this division's been pretty solid in the past. St. Louis Cardinals at 1 right now. Milwaukee Brewers at 2. Cubs at 3. Reds at 4. And Pittsburgh Pirates at 5. I think Pittsburgh is the worst team in the MLB this year. So, yeah, they're pretty much in the dumps. But looking at this division, they had a really tough offense, the Cardinals, last year. They weren't scoring a lot of points, but they added in Nolan Arenado, so that should help a lot. So, yeah, I don't know. They're projecting them to win it by a singular game over the Brewers, 85-77 and 84-78 for records for them. Those are two really good teams. The Cubs have been having a little bit of an off year or so, and they also just lost Yu Darvish and John Lester too. So they're going to have to rely on their hitters to step up. Bays, Chris Bryant, Anthony Rizzo, those guys. So, yeah, I don't know. What do you guys have any projections on this division? Do you have any ideas who you think will finish first? I think it'll be between the top 3, Cardinals, Brewers, Cubs, but I think probably between the Brewers and Cardinals, though.
Yeah, I agree. I think the Brewers edge it just because, Wisconsin, Green Bay, you know what I mean? Got to go with them.
That's fair. You are a fan over there.
I care less about the Brewers, but I don't know. Let's give it to them. Fuck it.
Della, you got a pick on this one?
No, I think those rankings are pretty good. They'll probably be a barn burner. Like, it'll be within 1 to 3 games, the difference. It'll all come down to who's ever healthier. I know Christian Yelich, the dude's an absolute stud, but he was a little banged up last year, which kind of hurt them in the long run.
Yeah.
And, they need his production, otherwise they're not going to win games. Like, their pitching staff is decent, but they're not going to keep the other team from scoring under 3 runs. So they need to be able to keep up in games.
The Brewers are really strong with their relievers. They have Josh Hader, who's probably the best reliever in the league, and they also have Devin Williams, who's really good too. So they have 2 really strong relievers, and I think that's going to help them a lot in closing out some of these games, as long as they can just match some points earlier and keep up with how many points the starters let up, because I don't think they have any crazy starters. So it's going to be really close. I think if Yelich stays healthy all year, they can sneak in the 1 spot. But with the addition of Nolan Arenado to the Cardinals, that's a good franchise. And, they have good coaching and, just a good organization, solid fan base, everything down to the core. So I'll take the Cardinals to win the division. But, yeah, we can move on to the last one here, the NL West. This one is pretty loaded with the top 2 teams, at least. You get the Dodgers and Padres, 1 and 2. Both of those teams are stacked up. You add in Trevor Bauer to the Dodgers. We've mentioned it earlier. That's nuts. That pitching staff's crazy. They have Buehler, Bauer, David Price, Clayton Kershaw. I mean, that shit is ridiculous. And then the Padres too. Now they added in Yu Darvish, Blake Snell, and on top of that, they had a really good pitcher there too. Before I thought. I can't remember who it would be, but the Padres are loaded too. One of the best players in the league last year, Tatis. These 2 are going to be fighting back and forth all year long. The other ones they have in 3rd are the Giants, Diamondbacks, and the Rockies at 5. And they're projecting the Rockies to be very bad. So, what do you guys think for this division? I think that the Dodgers will get it done just based off their experience, a little bit more time playing together. The Padres are kind of more of a new team meshed together. They got Machado, those kind of guys. I'm gonna stick with the Dodgers here. I think they'll win the division and win it probably by a few games, just because the Padres will hang around, but I don't think they have enough to beat them on a consistent basis. And I think that's what's going to have to take. They're going to have to beat them in head-to-head matchups to get the division, which I don't think they're going to do a lot of. So what do you guys think?
Yeah, I like the Padres a lot. They're a great team, but I think the Dodgers are going back to back, so that's my pick. I think they win the division outright, and I think they win the World Series again.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I feel like they're going to run away with the division and they're going to run away with the league. I mean, they're just too loaded. They're too experienced. They got everything going for them. The only way, unless there's barring unforeseen injuries, that is possible. You never know, especially in sports. But they're just set up to completely run the table all over again. And there's nobody in I could think of that can possibly even come close to stopping them. They're just stacked in every single category.
Yeah, they're clearly the favorites. Man.
They'll 100% be the favorites. I mean, they're coming off a World Series win, so they're going to be the favorites. The only team that I could really see coming out of the AL that could compete with them, if they're healthy, are the Yankees. That's the only team, honestly. I don't think anybody else has the lineup that could match up with them. I'm looking at the teams right now. I just couldn't see it from anybody else. The Yankees just have the pitching staff to match up with them. Obviously, I think I'll still give the edge to the Dodgers there. They're a little bit more deep, but the Yankees pitching staff is very good. And then, you got the parade of hitters that they have there. You got fucking Luke Voit, Aaron Judge, DJ LeMahieu, so many talented hitters. Aaron Hicks, like they're everybody. Gary Sanchez, their catcher even fucking rakes. Their whole team rakes. Awesome. So that team's gonna, if they can stay healthy, they're gonna be definitely in the mix. And I think that they could match up well against the Dodgers. But other than that, from the AL, I don't see anybody else that could stop them.
Yeah, I think the Yankees blow it again. They always do.
I'm hoping they do. I mean, obviously, we're Sox fans here. I don't want them to win.
Fuck the Yankees.
When you buy your team out and you have standout players all over the field, it's pretty hard not to keep. It's hard to keep losing every year when you have that much talent. You know what I mean? So I just think they're going to have to get there at some point, and this might be the year. That's all I'm saying. I hope it's not, because obviously I don't like the Yankees, but what are you gonna do? They got a good team, and from a Red Sox fan, you gotta give them credit where it's due. They have a good team.
Yeah, on paper they're definitely the second best.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll see. I think they suck. They'll blow it.
Yeah, they probably will, and I hope they do. But if I had to say, if the Dodgers had the worst matchup coming over from the AL, it's probably them. So we'll see what happens. But I'd say my prediction lies with you guys right now too. I don't really see anybody beating the Dodgers with that lineup, barring a crazy injury. But I will say, in baseball, you see some teams that you would never expect winning. You know what I mean? Like,
last year,
years ago.
Yeah.
Last year, the Rays. I mean, they found the formula at the right time.
Yep. And who thought the Nationals would win before that? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Nobody. So it's like you can always
even the Cubs when they won it.
Yeah, no one thought the Cubs were going to win.
04 Red Sox.
Yeah.
Like we could have.
Hey. 04 Red Sox, man.
Even the 2018 Red Sox, like people didn't think we were going to win because why? The Yankees and the Astros were both stacked in 2018. So they thought we were going to get there and get smacked. We ended up running the table. It's like whatever team gets hot can really make a run at the end. Yeah. But hopefully it's a new team. It'll be cool to see someone else win with the Dodgers. But shout out to my boy Mookie. If he gets another one, I won't be too upset.
Yeah.
Last thing for a prediction: who do you guys pick for MVP?
For both.
Yeah, we'll do AL and NL.
When do you guys want to start? I probably got to think.
AL, honestly, though, I mean, AL, it could go a bunch of different ways. Realistically, it's probably going to be Mike Trout. He's probably the sure bet because he's in like the top two.
He's so consistent. I don't know how you go against him.
Is everything right?
The National League, I think Tatis got fucking robbed last year. I mean, not to mention, he was the favorite with a month left in the year, and I bet money on him to win, and he wasn't even in the voting, which doesn't make any fucking sense because he blew everybody out of the water. So I would probably roll the dice on him again. With Mookie Betts obviously being up there because he's another guy. He's up there every year, but Tatis is going to make more of an impact on winning games than Mookie Betts just based off the strength of the team, So that's who I got.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's tough to go. In the AL, it's really tough to go against Mike Trout. I'm just looking at these teams, and I'm trying to think of someone that could be like a crazy standout. Jose Ramirez, too, from Cleveland. He could be someone that could be in the mix. He's always really good every year. I think Aaron Judge could have a really good year this year, coming back off an injury-riddled season. I think he could be in the mix. But yeah, I mean, it's really tough to go against Mike Trout. maybe George Springer goes off for the Blue Jays, something like that. Who knows? But I mean, Mike Trout is the easy pick for that, so I'll stick with that for now. We'll do a video recap on that midseason, and we'll see if my mind's still there. But the NL, there's so many big stars. Really, really tough to come down to this. But you got like all the really big stars. Most of them at least are in the NL. You got Acuna, you got Juan Soto, you got all the big guys, Bryce Harper, so many big names, Nolan Arenado, Christian Yelich. You got a million of them down the line. But I think, Mike, you're kind of right. I think he did get robbed a little bit last year, Tatis.
And I think it was fucking highway robbery, bro.
Yeah,
absolutely. He wasn't even in the top voting for that award, yet he was the favorite with a month left, and he was absolutely eating the whole year. Like, I don't fucking get it. I don't get it. I think it's just because I put money on it, and they're like, yeah, no, fuck this kid. He ain't winning shit.
Vegas pulled the strings on that one for sure, 100%. But
and it's a bias
in the ass for the roll of quarters, dude.
Yeah, I like that pick though. I think Tatis is a good pick for this year. I think Tatis and probably they might give it to someone outside of Trout though. If I had to pick someone outside of Trout, damn, that's tough. Would you guys have a pick outside of Trout?
I'm my pick, right? I'm going the best player on the best team, Mookie Betts, in the NL, and I'm gonna throw this out there: Vlad Jr. wins it in the AL.
Wow.
He has a crazy jump and he wins it.
It's
40 home runs.
Year out of him.
They are projected.
He lost all that weight.
I think he hits 40 home runs and he steals it from Trout. Probably not, but we'll see.
Well, the thing is though, like, I feel like after a while, like similar to LeBron, even seasons where he wins and like he should be winning MVP, they give it to someone else because they feel bad.
Yeah, I mean LeBron should have. LeBron.
I have a feeling they're going to do that this year, so I just think someone else will get it. I think, I honestly, Vlad Jr. is a good hole in the wall prediction that could definitely happen. Like I said, I think Aaron Judge is definitely someone that could be in the mix if he stays healthy all year. Who else?
Even the same team, Stanton, if he stays healthy, he could be up there.
Stanton, yeah. I mean, obviously, he's a great generational talent. If he can just ever stay on the field for them, that would be good. I don't know. The Astros have some really solid. Bregman could win it.
Altuve.
Yeah. There's a lot of good guys. Usually, guys with the bats win it. Guys that hit a lot of home runs, usually they win it.
Yeah.
You guys are gonna make me feel obligated to pick someone other than Trout. I mean,
well, no,
Vlad Jr.
I don't.
Doing it. Let's go.
Just saying, if you had to pick outside of Trout, because I just think they're gonna do like, hey, okay, let's give you a pat in the back this year. Let's not let you win it this year. Just let someone else have this like spotlight for one time.
If I had to pick someone other than Trout, I'd probably go with Altuve then. He's just kind of another sure bet, and he's coming off an injury-riddled season. He's kind of due to bounce back. So
yeah.
He is so fucking good, that little midget. Unbelievable.
Fucking meatball, bro.
He hits fucking nuclear shots for a little dude, bro.
Let's go, Red Sox. Let's go, Red Sox.
City.
At least we have some coaching. You know what I mean? Get the coach back.
We got the cheating coach back.
Yeah, whatever. Cheat the fucking. I don't give a fuck. Let's win. Let's win some games.
He wins titles.
Fucking win.
All right. Well, another pod with the boyos. Always a good time. Definitely check us out. The link is now in the YouTube bio, so you don't have to hear me spiel off all the different platforms. Just go ahead, click on it. Check them out for yourself. Click on the ones that fit in for you. Again, Chosen Sports, Mikey Dell, Chenny, D Money. Check us out. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe, and we'll see you next time.